Yo, what's happening, everyone? So, I want to give you my story on why I became hashtag Yang Gang, the reason why I am backing Andrew Yang. Well, it's really because he is the first candidate that I feel like would actually get something done. Now, let me explain. So, throughout my entire life, I'm currently 34 years old. Throughout my entire life, I've been so disenfranchised by politics. I think it's all just a big reality TV show. Like, it's just such a joke. Like, Donald Trump getting elected, it doesn't surprise me, mainly because if you think about what politics was like for the last couple of decades, like, it's just a big joke. Like, regardless if you're Democrat or Republican, nothing gets done in this country. Like, I'm sorry, like, I like Obama as a person. I didn't really care about him getting into office. Like, I do not like Trump, but him getting into office, like, did not surprise me at all. Like, if you think about politics right now, it's just a joke. And then along comes Andrew Yang. I was completely out of the loop with what was going on in politics. I did not even care about who was running for the Democratic primaries. All I cared about is, like, hopefully they get Trump out of office, because at least, they might not get anything done, but at least they will stop the bleeding. They will stop the damage that Trump is inflicting on this country. And then Andrew Yang comes along and he completely flips the script. He doesn't just, say he's going to beat Donald Trump. He's saying why Donald Trump is in office in the first place. No other candidate is doing that. All every other candidate is doing is, we're going to beat Donald Trump. We have to beat Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders, oh my God, Donald Trump is evil. We got to take care of him. Elizabeth Warren, like, I'm going to take on Donald Trump. Like, all these people are saying they're going to take on Donald Trump, but they're not addressing the problems that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. That is my number one issue with Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden. They just simply, they're just playing to the script of politics, and it just sickens me. Now, when it comes to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, like, I appreciate their causes. Like, I appreciate that they're diagnosing the problems of this country. I just think that their solutions are just completely out of date. I just think their solutions are not going to work. I mean, the wealth tax thing, like, it's just moronic in my opinion. Like, we need modern solutions to these modern problems. Like, the income inequality in this country is ridiculous, and it's only getting worse and worse. A wealth tax has historically failed. You had a lot of capital flight. You had a lot of people just going through so many loopholes, which they have been doing for pretty much the last decade. Like, it's gotten to a point where they completely mess up the American economy and they get completely bailed out. Like, that is the level of how just villainous these billionaires are. So if you throw a wealth tax on them, of course they're going to figure out whatever loophole they can figure out in order to just bypass it. But you look at Andrew Yang, what is he proposing? He is proposing a value-added tax combined with a UBI. That kind of lit up a light bulb in my head, because that was just the most genius solution to this whole wealth inequality thing, because it essentially makes us all Americans shareholders in America. So as America progresses, as America benefits from all of these technological advances, like, it just makes sense that we get a dividend of that. Like, I mean, it's just basic economics. And the fact that 9 out of 10 economists, I don't know, I'm thinking of 9 out of 10 dentists, but you think about all these economists who support UBI and to fund it with the VAT. Like, it just makes sense. Like, a VAT by itself is completely regressive, but a VAT combined with a UBI, it's genius. It's like, to address the wealth inequality, we need to implement a VAT. And in order to make a VAT not regressive and actually help the American people, well, what are we going to do? We're going to take that VAT and divvy it up with the American people. So it just makes sense. Like, it's just such a sensible, reasonable, like, it just works. Like, it's foolproof. Like, I don't understand how anyone can criticize that. Like, I see the argument constantly from Bernie Sanders supporters, from Elizabeth Warren supporters, that a VAT is regressive. No one is denying that. A VAT is definitely regressive on its own, but combined with UBI, it works. Like, it just works. And this is what just boggles my mind, that Andrew Yang is not the obvious choice for so many Americans. Like, if you are an American and you're feeling the symptoms of all of the problems that are going on with this country, you need to take a look at Andrew Yang, because this is the only candidate that is presenting modern solutions to modern problems, stuff that he actually figured out. He's not resorting to stuff that has not even worked in like the past, like the wealth tax. Like, oh my god, like Elizabeth Warren wants to break up tech companies. Like, do you not understand that that doesn't work in today's like economic climate? Like, that's 20th century solutions to 21st century problems. Like, breaking up a motor company makes sense, but breaking up a tech company does not. I mean, just think about it. Like, you're not going to Bing for your search engine needs, right? You're going to Google. Like, that's how it works. Like, there is no competition in tech. There's just only like whoever's doing the best, that's what everyone's going to use. The only instance where I think there's somewhat of a competition, which I actually don't think there is a competition, is between Uber and Lyft, right? But Uber is definitely dominating Lyft, in my opinion. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, the breaking up tech companies doesn't work, but she's still living in the past, and all of her supporters are just following it. And we need to move forward. We need to step forward. We need a president that actually gets it. We need a president that actually knows what they're doing, that they are fully aware and they're not out of touch with the current economic climate. They're not out of touch with technology, that they're not being stupid about it. And that's why I support Andrew Yang, and that's why I've stepped out of just political apathy and stepped into just, being completely passionate for one candidate. And Elizabeth Warren would not have done that. Bernie Sanders would not have done that. As much as I love Bernie and everything he stands for, I don't think his solutions would work. Andrew Yang is the obvious choice. So if you are still wondering who you should be voting for or why you should even care, take a look at Andrew Yang. YouTube him, Google him, do whatever it takes. Get to know Andrew Yang and understand why he needs to become our next president.